congratulations to Pitt. Hard-fought game, and I think a good college football game. Difference today was special teams, in my opinion. Pitt's returner is very, very good. We knew that going into the game. And the returns that they ran were the same returns that we prepared for, and so clearly their staff did a better job of executing and having their young men execute and coach them in those situations than we did. And he was exceptional. The kick return for a touchdown, another kick return to the 20-yard line, a punt return to the -33. So that to me was the difference in the game, in addition to the one mistake that Kurt makes right before half in the pick six. So that game is toe-to-toe, neck and neck, and I think going to be right to the very end. However, I've got to coach my team more cleanly and at a higher level to make the critical plays in all phases to be able to not have those things. So I thought we tried hard. I thought we showed a lot of spirit. There's a lot of things that I liked. Offensively, we looked more and more explosive. We didn't sustain it the second half, but we certainly did the first. And I think defensively, we gave up 3 drives. And that in and of itself against that team is, I think, a solid performance. And with those, though, penalties kept them going. So a lot to learn, a lot to grow from. And I was certainly anticipating and believed it could have been a different result, but they executed better today than we did, and that's reflective of how they were prepared. So I'm ready for questions whenever you are.
What effect, if any, do you think that interception had on Kurt thereafter?
Yeah, I'm not sure it had to what extent it had an effect on him. But boy, what a momentum shift, because we're going and all of a sudden think we might be able to get some more points on the board, and then it flips. However, we want our quarterback to be aggressive, and we want him to have confidence, and we promote that. And so I'm not going to put all of the outcome of the game on that one play. It certainly was a big play, and it certainly was a momentum shifter, but that's part of college football. And I think they scored, 10 points in the second half, and we scored 3. I would have anticipated the beginning of the game without kind of the special teams things more like that as well. But credit their player. He made a great play in a critical moment, and he did a nice job.
With their style, the way they want to run and get at you physically, how do you think your guys held up? They have a tendency to wear teams down. Did you feel like they did that toward the end of the second half?
I didn't. There was one drive in the second half that Pitt moved the ball and scored, and it wasn't through the middle. It was around the edges. We weren't quite as clean on our fly sweep defense, which we were solid the entire game, and I think probably played it better than anyone has all year. And I'm not someone that's going to take moral victories, but I liked our plan, and I liked the way we executed it, all the way down to even after another short field and missed a tackle on a play where they scored on, but I think they made it hard for Pitt to score. And there were 3 sustained drives, and we contributed, I think, with a penalty on each one. And so my job is now to help the defensive kids learn to play aggressive and hard and clean. And we struggled with that on the 3 drives today. But overall, I thought we handled it well.
Bronco, I think you guys gained 213 yards on 27 plays in the first quarter, and then on your next 35 plays had maybe 108 yards. Yeah. What transpired there? Did Pitt do something different defensively, or?
So I don't think so. But what I do think is that some of the big plays that we were hitting in the first half, just the separation from receiver to DB, we just didn't connect as much, and the long plays are pretty volatile. It's hard to be consistent, and it went according to plan the first half and not as much the second half. But I also think playing from behind is a little different than playing from ahead, and so I think Pitt's, and again, I'm going just from what I saw out there, and I'll verify it on Monday after I see the film, but I think they just started to rush a little bit more aggressively, play pass defense more than run defense, and we're expecting us to try to catch up through the air and not worry so much about balance. So I think that's probably what happened.
When they scored to tie it with 40 seconds in the half, did you have any? Was there even any discussion about whether you were going to try to score?
Yeah.
Was there any thought of playing it safe?
Yeah, the message was simply this, and a lot of discussion was happening. If we had success, if we were able to get one first down, then we were going to continue to push the envelope and see if we could get down and maybe get a field goal. If we didn't have success, even on first down, then it was going to be conservative and run out the half. And so I said first series, it was really the first play, if we had success on the first play. And I don't remember what that was, but yeah, I think that's right. And so once that happened, then it was, let's go. And that was, Robert and I both communicated, as did upstairs. And, you know, in retrospect, yeah, you probably do it different. But that was, it was thought out, and it was a decision, a conscious decision for us to do that.
Bronco, you kind of mentioned this earlier, but why was this such a drastic change between the first half and the second half for both teams?
Yeah, I think, man, it's hard to keep up that pace of the wildness and emotional levels and the swings. And it's not normal to return a kick for a touchdown. It's not normal to have a pick six. Those are plays that don't happen very often. It's not normal to have another giant return. And so there was just some volatility in there, and the second half looked more like probably maybe both teams anticipated it would go. But again, when you have the lead, you usually call plays different, and when you're coming from behind, you normally call plays different. Sometimes identities shift a little bit with the maturity of your team, and that's the best answer I can give right now.
Dylan Sims came into the game with 10 touchbacks. Was he instructed to kick it shorter today, or was he
Second
just not
half.
reaching the goal line?
Second half only. He wasn't. We were really intentional where we wanted the ball to land, based on where their returns went, and possibly because of the specificity we were asking him to hit on where we wanted to land. Maybe that took a little off of him just kicking it. Second half, those were sky kicks intentionally. We were trying to keep it away from the returner.
Coach, it seemed like every time you got matched up one-on-one on offense, Kurt was throwing deep. Was that part of the game plan? And would you really do the end of the first half differently in retrospect? You have to take your chances, don't you?
Yeah, so I think with the situation of what happened on first down, I like that mindset. You know, maybe it's a different decision on the pick six, but you know, I like aggressive play, and so that's probably just. But man, you can wear yourself out second guessing what play at what time or what defense at what time, and really this was a game of a few special teams plays and an interception return for a touchdown. If you take all of the whole thing and just shake it out, there's about 3 plays that come out that make the difference, in my opinion.
Last question from Andrew.
Bronco, you said Monday that you had been constantly adjusting your kickoff coverage, personnel, and
Yep.
things like that.
We
What
did it at
adjustments-
halftime again.
Okay, what adjustments did you make before the game and then during the game today?
We're just continually looking for players that run with speed and physicality that are capable of tackling. And we monitor our workload really closely. Roster management and depth is playing a pretty significant role, but at halftime, a lot of just starters on either offense, defense, regardless of what we normally believe is a starter might be able to start on 2 special teams and be able to start on offense or defense and keep up the workload. Some today were going more in the second half out of necessity. Hard to go through the entire year like that, but I think we would all agree that was necessary in the game today.